Why Shakespeare's sister? Why not?
Yeah. Why not? We kind of like it. Summed us up. That's from a Morrissey song called Shakespears Sister.
Great. And how did you meet? Have you grown up together or what? Or did you meet in the supermarket one day?
Well, we didn't grow up together. You grew up in Detroit.
That's right.
And I grew up all over Britain.
All over?
Working goose stepping.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Keep that leg down.
So no, how did you actually get together? You know, for the first time. Where did you meet for the very first time? Where did your eyes connect for the first time?
It was actually across the road from our house.
From where?
In Los Angeles, where I was doing some writing and demoing with a friend who was friends with Marcy. He thought that we'd get on well. And he was right.
He was right.
Yeah.
It's like
it was love at first sight.
It was like, and we've been together ever since.
He produced the first track with Richard Feldman, and I worked with him for a long time, writing, doing other writing and stuff.
You just came together and just sort of, who does the instruments? Do you argue actually?
Not really, because I don't play any instruments, so mine's more of a sort of ideas kind of role.
With some tunes and stuff.
And influences. I sort of suggest things. And,
I'd be really naff and ask you
them.
Who are your
influences?
Things
Who as well, obviously.
Who are you influenced by?
R&B kind of influences
Right.
for me, because I'm from Detroit and that's what I grew up with.
Yeah, so the two of us together, Siobhan has her influences,
Quite
the
good,
Smiths,
because
and mine influences is sort of like Mark Bolan and Bowie in the 70s.
Sure.
Yeah.
You both came from two completely
Totally different things. And
right?
thinking about, I think that's the most interesting thing about Shakespears Sister is this collision of American and British styles.
Great.
The other major sort of musical reference that recurs during the album is a Beatles one. Marcy's a big Beatles fan, and Alan Moulder, who engineered and co-produced with Mr. Indy. He's a big Beatles fan, and we actually ended up recording the album at George Harrison's home studio in England. So
Fantastic. I
got
got
to
to play all his wonderful guitars. I got to play, what guitar did I play? The one that he played A Hard Day's Night on.
Oh really? You actually used it?
Yeah, I actually used the guitars.
Is it on the album?
Yeah, it's on the album. It's on Friends.
and it goes through that amp from Shea Stadium.
Yeah, the Vox, the old Vox.
That's pretty unique. I mean, it's not every day that an artist gets to do that.
No.
So, are you trying to portray any messages in your music, or are you just happy to play music?
Well, I think that if you sort of, I think that the most moving kind of art, whether it's musical or visual or any kind of art, is when you try and honestly or accurately portray sort of what it's like to be a human being, you know, the human condition. And if you sort of describe your own experiences honestly, then people will relate to it.
Just a quick question, just to Siobhan, very, very quickly, just for a minute. When you left, you were in a Bananarama.
Well, I think that it was a long time coming, me leaving Bananarama. I was ready to progress as a writer and an artist, but I wasn't able to do so in that situation. But I really love working with people as part of a group. I didn't have any real ambitions to be a solo artist, but I wanted to continue making music, and so I was really delighted that I met Marcella, because I found that I was able to make the kind of music I wanted to make with a pal, you know, with a little help from my friends. Yeah. So
it's great, and also,
the great thing about us is me being a complete sort of. I mean, I come from the punk days, and I sort of always treasured the fact that everything was intuitive that I did musically, and I don't know how to read music, I don't understand anything about music, but actually that can hold you back in the end. And the brilliant thing about Marcy is she's a very accomplished musician, very experienced musician, and
Right.
so I think we're really good foils for each other in
You
that
are,
way.
definitely. It's amazing.
Well, the album's called Hormonally Yours, and essentially it's a very
Very
strange
appropriate.
sort of subplot that goes
Yeah.
along with it, and that is a hormonal one. I mean, the album was written, recorded, and mixed while we were pregnant, and
because you
We've both been
And
pregnant at the same
I
time.
think it's very much about sort of what it's like to be a woman now, and all that entails.
Mm.
We were trying to visually encapsulate the sort of more unbalanced side of what it's like to be a woman, because there's a lot of strength in that. There's a lot of creative strength, and there's a lot of emotional strength in the fact that women go through
Our hormonal.
Wow. And have children.
violence
And you
have
have two
children.
babies.
and-
It's a
You have
bizarre
one baby,
thing.
two little babies. And how are you going to organise it? Are you going to tour soon?
We are actually. I mean,
How are you going to bring? How are you going to
In June we start
around your
rehearsing.
children? Are you going to take them with you?
We're going to take them with us, and
Come on tour.
I mean, a lot of women do take
their
them on
children
tour.
On tour.
And obviously, we're not going to lock ourselves into sort of an 18-month world tour, but we need to play live. We want to play live, and we're going to be playing festivals in Europe in the summer, and then we'll be doing our own dates in August and September.
And is your music totally different? Do you
I know that Dave and I are influenced by different musical styles and artists, and
Yeah.
in fact we often have horrendous rows over who's
yeah.
who's good and who's
I've
not.
witnessed.
And often he, doesn't like some of the things I do, and I don't
Vice
like
versa.
some of the things he does.
Right.
And we do have rows about that. But
Would you ever
ultimately,
team up?
he's very supportive.
Mm.
As indeed is Marcy's husband.
and Marcy's husband as well? Talk about-
Well, they're both music fans, and so yeah, they're really interested, and they're really, on the whole, really like what we're doing. And I think it's difficult to speak to someone else.
Do you think you're going to encounter many changes, or do you think sort of?
I think there's no point in doing anything unless you change and
Oh,
develop
sure,
and grow.
sure.
I mean,
Some
already the second album is a huge development from the first,
Right.
which was we sort of became a duo during the process of making the first album. With the second album, we started off just us two, locked in Marcy's studio, wrote all the songs that way, demoed them on her 8-track, and approached it from the point of view of a very concise little team. And then when we started recording it, we brought in Steve Ferreira, who's our drummer, and he was very involved in the recording, and he became more and more a part of it during the recording process. And I always think Shakespears Sisters should be able to have that fluidity where it can change, develop and grow. Otherwise
Sure.
you get locked into what the public expect of you.